Hi. Okay, so I'm a little bored today. We had a snow day and I've done all the schoolwork that I can possibly do. So I have decided that I'm going to just show a little bit of how I cook my roast most of the time. Not always, but a lot of the time. So I have my beautiful chuck roast and it's one of my absolute favorite cuts of meat. I love doing this. It's definitely usually a treat when I do. I have in my roasting pan some flour and I'm gonna season it. I love this one. It's called the Brazilian Steakhouse. It's got some good seasoning, but I keep it pretty simple. I don't go crazy. And I'm gonna mix it up real quick, and then I'm gonna dredge my roast, my beautiful cut of meat, in my flour and seasoning mixture. And over here, I've got a pan full of bacon drippings from this morning's bacon. And that is what I'm gonna do, is just sear it real quick. And I wanna make sure that I get this seasoning and this flour all over the meat. And I'm just gonna leave it in the pan because as the juices from the roast like to drip, and if you're doing it low and slow, then that should give you plenty of juice, especially since this has a nice amount of fat to it. And so that'll kind of start to make you a little bit of a gravy. So I like gravy. Anyway, so you can see I've got it nice and dredged. And I'm just gonna go ahead and you can hear the sear starting to happen already. We're not gonna cook it for very long. We just wanna get a little bit of a crust. I'm gonna throw this away. Okay. Sorry for my messy kitchen. Okay. Now, while I'm doing that, and that takes just a second, I'm going to go ahead and peel what veggies are going to go in my roast. I love rutabagas. I think that's what they're called. I think they're called a rutabaga. Or is this a turnip? I always get it mixed up. No, this is a rutabaga. But I like turnips too because I'm not allowed to eat carrots, and turnips kind of taste like a carrot. But and I like to peel them really quickly with a paring knife because this is a really nice addition to any roast. It's a beautiful flavor, very sweet, firmer than a potato, but this takes me a second to peel this. But it's one of my veggie pieces that I put in my roast. It's so good. Okay, so that's what it looks like peeled, and then I'm just going to chunk it up. I leave them in pretty decent sized chunks since this is going to be in the oven for a while. Which, speaking of, I should probably preheat my oven while I'm doing this as well. Da-da-da. Flip this over. It's got a nice sear. Super simple. Then my next veg, of course, is an onion or two. I like a yellow or a sweet onion. Either one works. In a roast, I feel like it's better than a white, and I don't really ever do a purple. I save those for other dishes. And I just chunk it. So I'm going to have all these on the bottom. So all the aromatics will come up into the meat and the meat juices come down, and it just makes everything really, really good. So, there you go. Easy. Now, you can't have a roast without potatoes, in my opinion. I've tried it, and I get really disappointed when I go for my roast and I don't have a couple of roasted potatoes in there with it. So I got a bag of potatoes for pretty cheap. And I'm going to choose the two biggest potatoes out of it. Oh, it's smoking, so I think we're good. Nice. Get the sides really quickly. So I can make sure to sear a little bit of that fat. And turn it off and turn on my vent fan so I don't get good. And I just stick that now in my dish on top of those yummy root vegetables. And I'm going to finish off with quickly peeling with my paring knife this potato and cutting it into chunks. And then I'll show you my secret ingredient to my roasts that I love. It adds a wonderful depth of flavor, especially when comes time to make the gravy, and it's awesome. I'm sure a lot of people do it. It's nothing special, but I like to pretend it's a secret ingredient. Okay, so one potato's down. Chuck those along the side of my roast. And one more potato for leftovers. One of my absolute favorite things in the world to cook. Almost done. So it doesn't take me any time at all, and it cooks itself. And to me, it's the ultimate and comfort food. Okay, so now here comes my secret ingredient. Wish me luck, because I'm not very good at this, but I love to add a good red wine. I don't spend a lot of money on the wine because it's going to get cooked in and then I drink probably the rest, or I save it in ice cube trays to use in other stews and different things later, since I don't drink a lot anymore. Okay, so let's see if I can open this while I'm being recorded without it looking stupid. I've never been really good at opening bottles of wine. No judgment. Okay, so I've got this handy dandy. So I can do it. I think I got it. Whoop. Haha, I did it. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour some of this red wine right over the meat and into the veggies. We're talking maybe like a cup or so. And that's my liquid. I'm not too worried about adding extra liquid because some liquid's gonna come out of the veg as well as the meat, and it's gonna mix. But I can also include sometimes some bouillon, so I can make some little chicken, like, it doesn't matter if it's chicken or beef, but any kind of bouillon to make a broth, right? Okay, or a little bit of water. So I think we're good. I think I like the red wine effect. It's good. Looks good. Okay, and then we're gonna cover it. So I don't know how to do this where you can see what I have so far, but this is what it's gonna look like before I put it in the oven. So I thought I'd let you know. I will hopefully show what it turns out afterwards, but after this I'm just going to stick it in the oven, usually around 300, and my roasts this size especially is going to take 3 hours, I bet, at 300. I don't think it'll be more than that, but I want it low and slow. So all right, that's just how I do it. Oh, bye.